Hi, my name is James. The video that you have just watched is a project that I'm working on. I'm trying to build a car that is pure to its soul. I love driving and I love cars. So what is the definition of a pure driving machine? To me, it is as simple as a 6-speed shifter go-kart. It's so simple and you can have so much fun with it. And why don't we see cars like that on the road? Well, of course you can't. But that concept is very interesting. Today's modern cars, exotic cars, supercars, they are getting bigger and their demographics actually focus on people who can afford them. So you sit in a 458 Ferrari or a 488, you'll find the cab is like a lounge, very big. And as opposed to what true sports car mean, the cabs are usually smaller. The concept is to build a car that's not for everyone and not for specific demographics, but for the people who purely just want to drive from a LMP car. But if you can imagine an LMP car on the street, it just looked too extreme. So we all have dreams when we were children, right? I had a poster of a Lamborghini Countach. But after growing up, I realized, wow, that's something that's out of reach, not a normal person can afford. What if we combine the aspirations of LMP car F1 together to build a car that is a pure driving machine? And what would that look like? It would look very much something like this, at least from my perspective. What are the criteria? One is got to be timeless. And what does timeless mean? Timeless means to be simple and to have both the element of organic shapes in combination of something geometric, but not to overdo it, and one element of something that is unique. When you make a design too busy, then it becomes a pure period stamp. The inspiration from the LMP car, the cab, will be a lot slimmer rather than a big cab, because when you're driving at speeds, you won't have a coffee cup on within your hand. And the package itself is more of inspired by the 1990s or the 80s when cars were genuinely pure, such as the first generation NSX. The wheelbase is going to be about 40 millimeters longer than the NSX, and the roof line about 20 to 30 lower than an NSX. What this car is focused on is the pure driving experience. When you have a lower package like that, it may be a little bit cumbersome for the ingress and egress because the steering wheel have to be a little bit closer to you because the way you sit. One of the important elements of uniqueness is the headlights. Here, the headlights, they are aspiration of like airplane. You see engines are hanging off the airplane wing and sometimes sandwiched. So they're the aspirations of like the headlights going through a tunnel and sandwiched between two blades. And what I mean when I said organic shapes, when you look at these fenders, they're about volume, not using lines to break them to look like something else or boxy. So mainly the form is sculpted out of volume other than using character lines to define what it is. This section here is an inspiration from a F1 car. And in that combination, the sculpture makes the surface look like there's a lot of motion with only one single character line to define it. So this is what this car is about. I used to work at Honda R&D of Americas, and I work on the North American production vehicles, bread and butter cars. And the first project with the Honda was at the Honda aircraft. And many people didn't know that Honda made an airplane. So it's a conforming aircraft flying in the skies being sold at market right now. As well, I work in the ag industry, receive Red Dot Design and Good Design Awards. And I also spent some time in Japan with Subaru. So that's a little bit of my history. This project itself, right now I'm at stage one. I'm gonna just call it in three main stages. Stage one, I'm printing this one-to-one scale, and afterwards, when it's all printed out, I'm gonna bondle it, clean up the surface, trying to build a surface out of it so I can pull a fiberglass mold. And after the fiberglass body is conformed, I will marry that to a 986 chassis. That's the initial prototype. But of course, the goal and the objective of the idea is that someday potentially it can be its own space frame or tube frame chassis. But just to kick it off and get it on the road, it would be much faster to use an existing chassis and modify it. So those are the three main stages. And I'm at stage one, printing the exterior. So I have started printing the full size. This is the bumper, front bumper section. And the challenge is to figure out a way to print it that is strong enough, keep the shape, but fast enough. So these are the front bumper pieces. And then what I'm working on is also, these are the sections that help identify and locate them. So these ones will snap together like that. And here's a hole, there's a stitch for the groove on this piece. On this side, you have the groove that you put in. And you also see there's grooves here. They're misaligned intentionally because on different pieces, those grooves have to be in different locations. You put it in, and then you can lock it in place. Like that. One piece. And then here's another piece, like so. So full-size printing is happening. This is in a nutshell where I am at right now today. The kickoff for the build started January, and now we are mid-March. Thank you very much for watching.